Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's been. I know it's been quiet, and if you guys knew, and if you didn't know, your boy and his wife both birthdays were in August, so we were celebrating. We had a friend in town from New York, so we were doing our thing. So yeah, I was going live as often as I could. In regarding, so if you guys don't know it, this part of the channel, when I go live, I talk about the stock market and I give updates, beginner friendly updates, right? So we were going live. Oh, I was posting on YouTube, but if you guys follow my IG link below, I tell you what I'm buying and selling and what I'm getting into in the private portfolios. But I also give you updates that little like behind the scenes, what I'm doing in the stock market, who I'm talking to, what's coming up, all beginner friendly, right? And the reason that I'm doing this, if you guys don't know, is that early on this year, people were asking me, clients, family members, like, can I help them with the generating income, wealth in their portfolios from scratch? And it was getting a bit too overwhelming for me. So what I did was I just said, I have a YouTube channel, which I create content, which I like to share my pictures and videos with everyone around the world. Why? Because some of my family members stay somewhere else and somewhere else. I'm now currently in South Florida. Your boy's from Dubai, originally moved to the US in 2019. Now I live here. So I moved from New York recently with the wifey. So long story short is that this part of the channel, this segment is like I'm trying to connect with people and help them grow if they want to grow, that is their wealth, right? So we're on a mission for me personally to create generational wealth changes. My family's always invested into real estate with a traditional mindset, which is nothing wrong with it. It's great, but they didn't have the information like how we have the information out now today, that we can just with AI Google what's the latest, what's not the latest in terms of how do we grow our income or how money makes money for us, right? So money is just a tool, in my opinion. First of all, let me say disclaimer: I'm not a financial certified advisor of any sort. I can't tell you what to buy or to sell. I'm just sharing what I'm doing in the market. This portfolio I started on YouTube is basically a beginner's portfolio. If I got in the game 18, 19 years old, or just new to the game, whatever age I am, 40, 50, 60, 30, this is how I would be doing it, right? So it's like a template. If you guys want to see it, I'm showing it. And if if it helps, it helps. If you like this sort of live content from me, hit that like button. Appreciate you guys. It really helped me out. Like I said, I'm giving you all this for free. I'm not charging anyone, so a like button I would salute you guys. So let's get into it. First of all, let me just bring up uh, the iPhone mirroring, which I'm currently doing. 1 second. Give me a sec, guys. It's been like 2 weeks that I've not gone on live from the office. So there you go. Pop up, bang. So currently we are at, well, that's Bitcoin. So if you guys been following my channel, this part of the live segment is mainly about stocks. But I've been in the crypto game for a while, not as long as stocks. I've been in the stock market since about 2015. But the crypto I got in only when I moved to the US. And guys, I'm really transparent, right? I'm not here to boast. I'm not here to feel, I don't know, that I oversharing. This is me in real authentic, right? So basically, Bitcoin is right now in 79. My first Bitcoin when we bought a portion of Bitcoin was when Bitcoin was 10K. So we started putting dollar cost average, which is DCA, $100 every time in it. Over the past years, obviously, I've bought and sold Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, you name it. Currently, all my crypto sits on Coinbase. So uh, this is like a beginner's portfolio, correct? So I'm just showing you guys and I like to show people or teach people like, if you look at things, look at them from a percentage point of view. That's just my preference. And why I say this is because like for any sales out there, like whether it's Black Fridays, Amazon sales, whatever, no one says like, oh, they do say like $20 off, $30 off, but majority of the time, businesses, the way we market, we're like 50% off, 40% off. So I want to train your minds, like I've trained my mind, that to look at things in percentages. So if you look at Bitcoin today, it's up 3.76%, right? And the past 1 week is about 24 points. So let's just call it 25%, right? Up. and the past month around the same, last 3 months, and you can basically check all these details. You can see here, right, 30% down in the past year. But if you go to the all time, if you past 5 years is 61%. There's no 5 years for, oh, is there? I mean, not all time for some reason, but look at the percentage, and I'm just showing you like this beginner's portfolio on Robinhood. And again, I'm not affiliated with Robinhood. The reason that I use Robinhood is only because it's really easy for me to showcase you an iPhone mirror, right? If you look at this right now, right, guys? Um, okay, that's we're up 32%. Hold on, hey, you're back. The wifey's in the chat. Wifey always coming in clutch, bro. You got to support each other. She's starting her YouTube channel as well. As you can see, it's Wellness with Sophie, where she talks about skincare and how one must take care of the skincare, men, women, whoever, right? In today's age. Let me just shout out. Okay. So you want to train your mind to look at this. So it's 32% and some change up in this portfolio. So the more money you put, like we just made $24 from our investment, right? So average cost is 60,000. Currently, Bitcoin's at almost 80K, right? So you want to basically look at these things, look at the charts. With the amount of information that we have out today, that's why when we started this video, I was talking about, when my parents got into investment, they mainly did it in real estate because that was the only thing which was their people were doing it, their parents did it, their parents did it, right? Now, if you don't have real estate, I don't invest in real estate, physical tangible real estate, right? But I do have it like in a stock portfolio, like I invest into real estate to those sectors through stocks. So you could do that. There's a couple of stocks out there like STAG, and there's also ETFs out there. You can actually use Google Finance, and look into all the AI, or ask AI, like, I want to get in real estate, but I don't want to buy tangible real estate. How do I invest in the stock market? So there's so many avenues that one can actually start their journey into investing. You don't have to have the traditional real estate, but you can, invest in these sort of uh, avenues, right? Or the stock market if you don't want to buy. And I feel like when I talk to my dad, yes, I wish I had physical real estate, but at the same time, I don't honestly wish it, because the problems that I hear my dad, my friends, whoever, clients, when they have, most of them, you hear the good news, you don't hear the bad news, like where tenants are staying in, there's issues. So you're basically running around trying to get people to, the long and short of it is basically, I can't tell you what to do, right? What I can only tell you what works for me and how I look at it with data on hand and hear people's stories. So I like to invest in the stock market, and I like my money tied up in this manner, because if I want to buy, sell, I can do it right now on the spot. I don't need to wait for someone to pay for it, or you get what I'm point, right? So, and if you don't, that's cool, bro. Let me know in the comments. It's all good. We're all here for understanding one another and connecting the dots. Just to make money. That's the aim when I go live on this channel. Like, I want to create money that makes a difference in my family's lifestyle, and how I can, once I get to my end goal, hopefully sooner rather than later, then I want to start helping more people that were unfortunate but want to get help and want to learn and better their life, etc., etc. So, guys, if you've been following this, again, salute, appreciate you guys. Hit that like button if you haven't. If you want to connect me on IG, all my links below. I have my Robinhood link, everything. Like I said, I'm not affiliated with these companies. I'm just referring these companies because this is what I personally use day to day, right? So without further ado, let's get into it. We just covered Bitcoin. Bitcoin's 32. So what we're going to do right now is look at. So our aim, basically, when we started this portfolio year to date, was we wanted to hit certain milestones. We want to take 1K to 5K, 5K to 8K, 8K to 10, 10 to 12, and now we're going to create 12 to 15, right? And the only way that I can advise you guys, is what I advise myself, is that consistency, compounding, time builds it. It's not gambling. It's not like, you got to put in the work. You got to teach yourself. You got to do your due diligence. You got to do your homework. You got to connect with people who are in this game and winning in this game, and they share you the greens and the reds, right? Not just the green flags. Remember that, the red flags as well, right? So what's in this portfolio, right? So a quick update to see what's in this portfolio. Right now we have Bitcoin, like I showed you guys, that's 32% up. And guys, I'm showing you the beginners portfolio on YouTube, right? If you just got into investing, this is a beginner's portfolio that you guys want to look at. You can see all the shares, the thing. I'm not like I'm not here to brag, boast, or be embarrassed, or whatever you want to call it. This is it, bro. If I started today, this is it, right? So again, I'm not a financial certified advisor. I can't tell you how to buy or to sell. You do your due diligence, broski. So far, we have about under 40 shares. We are about 13%. And if you don't know about these companies, look them up. Look at the sectors that I'm in this portfolio. It's diversified. It can be more diversified, but this is just a friendly beginners portfolio that I've started, right? American Express, 5% and some change. Robinhood, as you know, the hood, it's the app that we're using. Fun fact is whenever crypto's up, Robinhood is up because that's how it just works, right? VO is an ETF, 10% F, 10% and some change up. SCHD, another ETF, about 16% up. Microsoft, 23% F, 23% up. What's wrong with me? My bad. APH about 13% up. Google about 8%. Nvidia about 14%. Meta down less than 7%. CRM 23, which is Salesforce, about 23% up. SPMO, another ETF, 14% up. ServiceNow about 30% up. Elf Beauty 81% up. We'll come back to that. 81%. That's madness, bro. Imagine, bro. This is a beginner's portfolio, right? Which I started with you guys live this year, right? So I've been going as frequent as I could. Now that that I'm more into it with this portfolio, I'm trying to share, guys. Come on, we can all do this, bro. It's not rocket science, trust me. You just need to teach yourself every now and then how to navigate in the space, and you'll get there, right? Elf Beauty, 81%. And people are like, I remember when we were buying this, people were like, bro, like, what are you doing, dude? Why aren't you buying AMD, Nvidia, and blah, blah, blah? Now, my goal is, yes, I could buy that, which I am buying those stocks, but I'm buying that in the private portfolios as well, right? I have 4 portfolios. Why do I have this? Because everything's tracking differently. This is the 3rd portfolio in stocks, right? I also have my crypto portfolio in Coinbase and my wallets. Now, this is a beginner's portfolio, and I've always told people, if you know me personally, like, diversify your portfolio. Why? Because if there's a tech explosion negatively, all your tech stocks are going to get affected. Like all your Googles, Nvidia's, Metas, all these, even the SaaS stocks, which are basically Microsoft, CRM now, right? So L Beauty, like you can say, bro, like imagine if you put all your bags in whatever, Elf still showing. And more or less, we started everything the same time, right? So when we started investing, we started putting everything, a little amount in everything, not just one thing, right? And guys, I strongly suggest that if you're new to investing, mainly put it into ETFs, right? Look up what is the best ETFs. I'm showing you what I'm using. But that's the reason that I'm getting into this. Like the ETFs literally are your foundation. So if something happens, explosion, this, that, in terms of market negatively, your ETFs literally are more stable than individual stocks, in my opinion, right? So ELF's now about 82%, DRAM, another ETF about 14%, Eli Lilly about 10%, under 10%. VX US, if you don't know, this ETF is ETF non-US. So everything outside the US market, it's tracking Hong Kong, Asia, Europe, etc. Right? And guys, like if you want to get into knowing more about like what these ETFs are, you just go to Robinhood, for example. Again, I'm not affiliated with them. I'm just referring because I'm using it right now with you guys. You click on VX US, it says everything by Vanguard. And if you want to look at the sectors, it tells you what this company or what this ETF does. The sectors it's in: financial services, technology, industrials, consumer, cynical, basic materials, healthcare, energy, communication services, utilities, real estate. Again, like I was saying earlier about real estate, it's there. This is non-US. And then Taiwan Semiconductor, blah, blah, blah. And you can, literally look at all these companies yourself, right? Royal Bank of Canada, so Alibaba, and etc., right? So, and the last one is LYTE. Now, if you looked at my earlier portfolios or earlier videos, if you've been one of those OGs who've been tuning in, appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. We had Marvel, we had NBIS, Coherent, and what we did was we sold them at a loss at the time, and now it's like gone way up. So I wish I didn't do that. But again, this is a beginner's portfolio, right? So we got to make mistakes to learn. What we did is we started a position in this ETF because it's more safer and less volatile, right? And what these have is basically, let's get into it, technology, but the top 10, you have Coherent here, you have Lumentum. And so, yes, you don't have the marvels of the world, but what I'm doing with this portfolio is just because I don't have Marvel in this portfolio, Nvidia is literally in bed with that company, or it's funding that company, in my opinion. So I'm putting money in this portfolio in Nvidia, since we have a larger Nvidia position, right, in this portfolio. So yeah, fun facts. That's what you know. Now again, Nvidia's earnings is this week, right? Um, Again, we're dollar cost averaging into Nvidia. Anything, if you get anything, in my opinion, below 200, bro, that's a win, bro. Like we, stacking up if it's below 200. Obviously, it's not. If you look at a month ago, it was way higher. So if you're getting into a position now, like a skin in the game, if you look at the data on hand, it was way higher here, August 17. So you're still getting it at a little discount, in my opinion. If you got into it here, which is July 29 now, of course, we've got into Nvidia in another portfolio, in a private portfolio, like I think when it was like 100 and something, like 110 or 120, somewhere even less than this. So when did we get into it? Way back, bro. So obviously, bro, not that way back when Nvidia was like $17 in 2022. So I think we got into one of our portfolios when it was here, about 110. Yep, that seems about right. Actually, we got into 2024. So let's take it here. So we probably got into it here. Yeah. Bro, and it's running up, right? Now, again, don't run out and buy these companies. What I would suggest, what I'm doing is that if I want to get into a company, I track it. Like we had SpaceX in this portfolio, and we got out of SpaceX because I just want to show people how you buy a stock when it goes before it goes IPO and Robinhood and everything. Yes, I'll be buying SpaceX in the future, not now. Now I'm focusing on companies with their fundamentals, which are like their revenues, their profit house, etc., right? So, and again, the reason that I'm speaking this way, or my vocabulary is in this manner, is because I'm not trying to overwhelm people who are new to this part of their journey in life, which is investing in the stock market, right? So this is why we are addressing the way we are addressing it. Now, SpaceX if you look at, let's just look at SpaceX today, since we're talking about it. And today is 136. So it's basically, when we got into it in Robinhood, we paid 135 for one share, right? So it's roughly there. And I was just basically showing people like how, showing the YouTube fam that this is the way you buy one if you want, and it look, not jumping the gun, but look, guys, it fell over here as well. So you want to like make sure that, your portfolio is well established so you can be proud of it 3 to 5 years from now, or 10 or 15 out, right? And keep building your position. Consistency, compounding, all this patience, time. It takes a long time to create millionaire, multi-millionaire, right? You need to go through the cycle, but you need to be consistent. And it's, to be honest, since I've been in it in 2015, it's really it gives you the jitters at times, especially when the market's crashing, like how we did in COVID. I was like, damn, bro, like what's happening? But I remember why I got into investing, and I said, okay, let me put some amounts of money in it again and try building my positions again in the same companies or new positions, right? New stocks that I was investing. And my goal is like, you got to, going back to the percentage point of view, you got to like ask yourself, okay, annually, what my goal is am I trying to hit 20%, 30%, 40%, 100%, 200%, 300%, right? Annually, next year, this. So like some of our positions in other portfolios are like three, digits and more. And I'm not talking about 100, it's like crazy amounts, right? In percentage. Like if you look at ELF in this portfolio, it's like 82%, another 20 plus points, and we are three digits as well in ELF, right? So that's how you want to train yourself. Let's get into ELF, right? So this company is 104 right now and some change. Our average cost is $57 and some change. we've made $354 and some change as well, right? Today's return is that much. Now, there are banks out there where you're holding your money, where your money sat in, your money is sat in, that you're not making even this percentage, 2.58. So, guys, you want to first look into things like uh, applying in a high yield saving account, right? HYSA or whatever they call it. Also, if you put into investing, like if you have a SoFi bank, and I know this for a fact, it shows you that you can invest within the app, right? So look at these tools that you have on hand. Use your smartphone like a smartphone and make sure that, because everyone's got a brain, right? Everyone uses it, but sometimes we can be lazy. And I'm speaking from my own personal opinions, right? My examples in life, like in my earlier age, I wish there was something, this forum or people in my life telling me like, this is what you need to do with your money, not just go out to a club and spend money and alcohol. And so I was obviously like buying cars and this, and bro, like now I'm like, if I didn't do all that and I had to focus back then in this market, bro, life would have been way different. I'm still blessed. I thank God every day that, but I thank God even for keep me going with, sanity and making a change, being sane. But yeah, it's greatness is a process. So, I'm making it happen and owning it day by day. I have future goals. So I'm just saying, guys, you got to do that as well, right? Lock in, bro. It's your life, right? So, and check this out. So when I say do your DD, do your due diligence. So right now it's 104, right? Check this out. So obviously when IPO in September 22nd, 2016, $24. Bro, we bought it 57, so roughly a little more than half. But if you look at the way it ran up here in 24, it was $208. So if you're looking to starting a position in health, look at the data on hand. Okay, look at the company. Like it tells you everything, every little detail thing. This Robinhood app, shows you the employees, 849 employees. So guys, also like I've put out videos about what's a PE ratio. Look at all these 52-week low. It was 48. Today's low 100. Today's high 50. Look at all these data that you have the data on hand. So yeah, guys, we are literally, when we open this app next with you guys, probably be 100% very soon. I'm not going to say that it's going to happen like tomorrow or the day after. It's going to happen soon, right? So I wanted to get on today. Yes, it's been a couple of days where we haven't been chatting because August is a big month for Sophie and I. That's my wife. Both our birthdays are a week apart, and we had a friend in town. We were doing stuff like August. We like to do stuff. What did we do? We actually went to this Everglades alligator farm out here, which was amazing. If you follow me on IG, I'll put out the videos so you get to it. IG is basically like my personal life sharing. And the reason that I'm putting out content, it's not for anyone's benefit. It's for my benefit. Like I look at it like I relive these memories with my wife and we watch it together, whether it's YouTube or whatever you use, right? Uh, I lost my mom like when she was mad young. When I say mad young, I lost in 2011. She was young, like she was just in her early 50s. And I wish I had more. Pictures do justice, but videos do more justice than me. So like I look at these videos and when I even create it, I get fun, passion, like, it's all these values just come out. So the reason that even I'm doing this is because from a stock perspective, from an investment perspective, from teaching people that I never got taught in this, it can sit on YouTube, it can sit on these platforms for however long that it needs to help whoever it needs to, right? So guys, I want to end on that note. I'm going to go live as often as I can every day when it comes to this segment as well. But guys, keep putting in the work, make it happen, owning it. The stock market is a great way that I've made money in. Um, just looking at connect. Let me know in the comments below what you guys buying. If you're new to the market, what's making you get into the market, etc., etc. On that note, peace, one love, make it happen. I'm out.